a very warm welcome. So, my name's Emma, and I'm really pleased to be spending the next little while with you. And today's session is all about something that can make a genuine difference when you're looking for work. And it's building your professional network and using LinkedIn to do it. Now, some of you may already use LinkedIn every day, and some of you maybe never have opened it before, and that's completely fine. Whether you're starting from today, you're in exactly the right place. So by the end of our time together, my hope is that you'll feel more confident about how to connect with people, how to find opportunities, and how to show employers the skill and experience you already bring with you. Okay, so let's get started. And as mentioned, if you have any questions, we will have a Q&A at the end, and there's also the chat that you can write in your questions there. So first of all, just a little bit about myself. So I work at LinkedIn as a customer success manager. So in my day-to-day role, I work closely with organizations to help them get the most out of LinkedIn. So I spend a lot of time thinking about how people connect, learn, and opportunities on the platform. And if you'd like, I would genuinely love for you to connect with me on LinkedIn after today's session, and I'll show you exactly how you can do that a little bit later on. Right, so let's talk about now why we are here. So you'll see a couple of hashtags on screen. So hashtag coaches for community and hashtag social impact. I want you to give a small friendly invitation. So an event like today is brilliant reason to start posting on LinkedIn, especially if you've never posted before. And it doesn't need to be anything fancy. Simply share what you've learned today or a little of your own journey, only as much as you feel comfortable sharing. And it's a wonderful way to begin. If you add these two hashtags when you post, it means people at LinkedIn, including me, will be able to see it, cheer you on, and help other people notice you as well. There's absolutely no pressure to do this, but if you feel ready, do give it a go. It's a small step that can open some doors. So let's dive into our agenda, and I'll walk you through what to expect when I've got you today. So first, we'll start with why LinkedIn. So what it actually is and why it matters when you're looking for work. Then we'll talk about the power of networking. So why the people you know and the people they know can be so helpful in a job search. And after that, we'll get practical and look at how to build your own professional network step by step. So we're going to explore different ways to connect with people and reach out to them as well. And finally, we'll leave plenty of time at the end for questions and a wrap up too. So please feel free to write down anything you'd like to ask as we go along. But for now, let's dive in and talk about why LinkedIn is worth your while. So let's talk about what it actually is and why it can be such a powerful tool when you're building a career here. So LinkedIn is often called the network that works. Oh, let's just skip to the next slide. It's gone ahead. See if I can get back. There we go. So it's often called the network that works for you. And that is exactly what it does if you set it up in the right way. So your network on LinkedIn is made up of people you know and trust, such as colleagues, classmates, mentors, and connections you make throughout your career. So LinkedIn helps you stay connected and turn those relationships into opportunities that could be learning from others, finding a new role, or being discovered by an employer. So a great example is my own experience. So a few years ago, I interviewed at LinkedIn for the job I'm in now, but I didn't get the role. But what I did after that interview was I connected with the team and the hire managers, and I kept building those relationships because I knew I really wanted to work here. And a couple years later, so this was last year, the hire manager reached out to me when they were growing the team and encouraged me to apply. And that's how I ended up joining LinkedIn. So that was through connecting with people and keeping up to date with what was happening in that team because I knew LinkedIn was somewhere that I wanted to work. And now I work for them. So you're in control of your network. And the more you invest in the right relationships, like I did, the more opportunities can come from them as well. So, with that in mind, let's look at the power of networking. So, this next part is close to my heart because it's the idea that helps so many people find work, the power of networking. And as I said, it worked for me, and that's how I got this role at LinkedIn as well. So, really want to share how you can do that. So, let's start with what networking really means. You might have heard of it before, but let's go back and focus on what it means. Because the word itself can sound a bit formal or even a little scary, but it really doesn't need to be. So, networking is simply building professional relationships, and it's completely normal part of working life. It can happen in person or online. And it can be as simple as talking to someone new, going along to an event like this one, or getting involved in some volunteering. On LinkedIn, you can connect with all sorts of people. So, friends, family, former classmates, colleagues, and anyone you think might help you connect you to an opportunity. So, networking comes in many forms, and there is no single right way to do it. So, what networking does and why it's so powerful is it opens doors. It helps you build relationships, hear about new opportunities, and share ideas and advice. And here's something important to hold on to. So, networking works both ways. So, it isn't about asking for favors, it's about genuine connections over time. And it can take a bit of time to build your networking and build your connections on LinkedIn. And we'll show you how to do that. So now I want to share something that surprises a lot of people. It's especially good news if you're new to the UK and you feel like you don't know very many people yet, or you don't know very many people in your industry. So you might think the most useful help comes from your closest friends, but research from LinkedIn actually shows that your weaker connections, so people you've met only once or twice, or a friend of a friend, are often the most helpful of all in the job search. Now, why is that? Because they know different people and different companies than you do. So let me give you an example. Imagine your neighbor's sister works at a company you would love to join. and you've only met her once. But because she's connected to that world, she might tell you about a job or introduce you to the right person. And that's exactly how LinkedIn works. So every time you connect with someone new, their wider network becomes a little more open to you. So even if you feel like you're just starting out, please hear this. Every single connection you make does help. So, how do you actually start connecting with new people on LinkedIn? And how do you start growing that network so you can find out about new opportunities or connect with people in the companies that you want to work for? Shown the video again. We'll have to watch this again. And we should be able to go to the next slide after this. But it's showing the power of if you've got a friend of a friend, if you have someone at a company you want to work for, definitely go out and start connecting with people. Okay, let me just come out of this. Okay. So this next part is all about how you build your own professional network on LinkedIn. And we'll do this one simple step at a time. Okay, so we've spoke about the importance of networking, and now let's go into how you actually do it. So once you've added the people you already know, so friends, classmates, former colleagues, people from your training program, the next step is to think about who you would like to know. So this could be someone doing the exact job that you would love to do one day. They might be happy to tell you a little bit about how they got there. And it could be someone you have something in common with and think you could learn from. So don't be shy about this. You never know what a connection might help later on. So go out there and connect with people. You can find these people using the search bar at the top of LinkedIn. And you can also spot potential connections in groups that you've joined or in the comments on posts in your feed. Perhaps someone leaves a really thoughtful comment and you think, I'd like to know that person. When you reach out, mentioning what caught your eye, why you'd like to connect, really increases the chance that they will accept that connection. So next, let's look at how to make those connection requests feel personal. And the more personal they are, the more people will accept your connection request, and then the more you will grow your network. So just a note here as well, if you'd like to go a little deeper on this, LinkedIn has a short free course. I'd really recommend it. It's called Nano Tips for Professional Networking. And the lessons are very quick, just a couple of minutes each. And they're full of practical ideas you can use straight away. And here's the good news. This course is free for everyone. You do not need a paid account to watch it. So I'll make sure you know where to find these recommendations after this session. So let's talk about the search bar because it's one of the most useful tools on the whole platform. That's how you're going to find people. So you don't have to wait for LinkedIn to suggest people to you. You can search for anyone directly. So at the top of the screen, you can search by a person's name, by a company, by a location or by a keyword, like a job title or an industry. And here's a handy tip. Sometimes you'll meet someone and only remember their first name. That happens to me a lot. And where they work. So you might just remember me as Emma, who works at LinkedIn. And that's okay. You can type in what you do know and use the filters to help you find them as well. So it makes it easy for you to find people. So here's a statistic I really want you to remember. So LinkedIn members are 4 times more likely to get hired at a company where they already have a connection. 4 times. So when I was trying to apply for LinkedIn, I connected with people who worked at LinkedIn. Even if I didn't know them, I wanted to learn from them. I wanted to see what was happening at LinkedIn, so I knew exactly when the best time to apply was. It means that the time you spend building your network isn't just a nice to have, it generally improves your chances of getting a job. So every connection you make is quietly working in your favor. So every connection you make, every group you become a part of, it's helping you in that job search. This is exactly why we're spending our time together today, and it really does make a difference. So when you reach out to connect with someone, you can add a short personal note explaining why you'd like to connect. Maybe you met them at an event like this one. Maybe you love to hear about their career journey, or maybe you'd like to ask about a job at their company. So a short, friendly note makes a big difference. And I want to gently reassure you about something. Reaching out to people that you don't know can feel uncomfortable sometimes, or even a bit nerve-wracking. And that's completely normal to feel like that, especially when you're starting out connecting with your network and building your network. But you're not alone in that feeling. That's how everyone feels when they start out. And then it becomes easier once you start growing your network. And just remember, in the professional world, it is very common and very accepted thing to do. So people will expect you to connect with them, even if you don't know them. In fact, more than 60% of people have referred someone for a job at their company. People are often genuinely happy to help. You just have to ask. So now let's walk through how to send one of those personalized notes that will get you higher connections acceptance rates. So here's how it works in practice. So when you find someone you'd like to connect with, you click the connect button. At the point, you can either send the request straight away, or this is what I would recommend, and this is what I do. You can choose add a note. So my top tip is to always add a note, even if you've met this person before. A little message helps remind them and makes your request feel warm and personal rather than automatic. If you happen to use LinkedIn's paid version, you may see an option to write your note using AI. To save you a bit of time, just remember though to read it through and put it in your own words so that it sounds like you before you send the connection request. So now you've started to connect with people, let's speak about how to message them. So once someone accepts your connection request, you'll be able to send them a message. There are 3 easy ways to do this. You can go to the messaging page and start a new message by typing their name. You can go to your connections page and message them from there. Or you can visit their profile and click the message button. With a free LinkedIn account, you can message anyone you're already connected with, completely free of charge. So please don't be afraid to say a friendly hello, to thank someone for connecting, or to ask a question. A simple message is very often the start of a really valuable conversation. So don't be afraid to message people on LinkedIn. That is what the network is for. So let me introduce you to one of my favorite ideas, the informational interview. Now, don't let the name put you off. It is simply a casual, friendly chat with someone to learn about their job, their career path, and any advice they might have. It is not a job interview, and there is no pressure at all. Some people sometimes call this a coffee chat as well, so that you can connect with someone and it's a virtual coffee chat or an informational interview. So here's how to ask for one. First, introduce yourself. Then share why you'd like to speak with them. Perhaps you're interested in their industry or the company they work for. And finally, make a small, low-pressure request, such as a 15-minute conversation. These chats are absolute gold. They help you understand how work works here and learn about companies and industries that interest you and build genuine relationships. Sometimes with the very people who might think of you when a job comes up, like my hiring manager did when a job came up in his team. So now I want to talk to you about referrals. So a referral is when someone who works at the company recommends you for a job there. And it can be one of the most powerful ways to get your foot in the door. If you'd like to ask for one, it's best to reach out to people you already know or to build a genuine connection with someone first. When you're ready, start by sharing why you're interested in that particular role, what excites you about it, and why you would be a good fit. Then make your request kindly and clearly. So alongside referrals, there's another lovely tool, recommendations. So a recommendation is a short public note that appears on your profile, and it's written by someone who has worked with you. So think of it as a reference that's always on display, ready for recruiters to see when they look at your profile. To ask for one, you simply click request a recommendation on that person's profile and add a friendly note reminding them how you know each other and thanking them for their time. One important thing, only ask people who can genuinely speak to your work and your skills. So that might be a current or former manager or someone you've worked closely with. But, and this is really relevant, it could also be a mentor or an advisor from a training program or a charity that has supported you. Those relationships absolutely count, And those people are often delighted to help you as well. Okay, so far we've talked all about reaching out to other people. Now let's turn it around and talk about how you can help the right people find you by boosting your visibility on LinkedIn. So here's a gentle truth about networking. The best networking isn't about only taking, it's about giving too. When you give a little to your connections, they're far more likely to want to support you in return. So, how do you do that? A few simple ways. Stay in touch even when you don't need anything. Send a quick message to congratulate someone on a new job or to wish them well. Engage with things your connections post. Even a short, thoughtful comment goes a long way. Join groups that interest you and share your ideas there. And write recommendations for other people, and then they'll more likely write them for you. And you can do this even if they haven't asked. If someone helped you or taught you something, saying it publicly is a kind and memorable thing to do, and they will really appreciate it, just like you would appreciate it if they done that for you. All of this keeps you visible and marks you out as someone worth knowing. So now let's talk about your professional brand, which is really just a friendly way of saying how you show up online. So building a strong profile is important, but the content you engage with matters too. So remember that. So start by following people and companies in the field that you are interested in. Who are the experts? The people whose work you admire. LinkedIn even publishes lists of top voices in different industries, which is a great place to start. Then begin engaging with their posts. Instead of just writing, great post, try adding a thought of your own. So a short comment sharing your experience or your opinion. Here's why that's so powerful. When your comment, other people see it too, well beyond your network. And a thoughtful comment can lead people to check out your profile and connect with you. So once you start commenting, you might then get people wanting to connect with you because they're interested in having you in their network. You can also join LinkedIn groups to find good conversations to be part of. And when you feel ready, you might even start posting yourself. So another free course I'd recommend if you'd like to explore this a little bit further. It's called Nano Tips for Defining Your Personal Brand. Once again, the lessons are short and easy to follow, and it's free for everyone. It's a lovely way to think about what makes you, you, and how to show that on your profile. So I'd recommend looking into that course. So now let's talk about actually applying for jobs and a feature I really want you to know about called Open to Work. By clicking Open to at the top of your profile, you can tell recruiters exactly what you're looking for, the job titles you're interested in, the location, and the type of work, such as full-time or hybrid. You can also let them know when you're able to start. So turning this on makes you twice as likely to receive a message from a recruiter. Now, and this is really important, you may be wondering, but who can actually see this? The answer is you're in full control. You can choose to show a green open to work badge on your photo for everyone to see, or you can keep it private so that only recruiters know. And if you'd prefer no badge at all, that's completely fine too. You will still appear in recruiter searches, so you can decide exactly what feels comfortable and safe for you. So speaking of comfort and control, let's talk about privacy. Because on LinkedIn, you are in charge. I'd really encourage you to spend a few minutes in your settings and privacy page. You'll find it by clicking the Me icon at the top of the screen and then choosing settings and privacy. In there, you can do all sorts of helpful things. You can change your language, you can choose which notifications you receive, you can decide how visible your profile is and to whom. And you can keep your account safe by turning on two-step verification, which is a simple extra layer of security. This matters for everyone, so please do take the time to set things up in a way that feels right and safe for you. Your experience on LinkedIn should always be on your terms. So here's a little extra credit for when you're feeling confident, posting your own content. Now, this takes a bit more time than the other things we've talked about. It's obviously very easy to like someone's post, to comment on someone's post, but it can really pay off if you're posting your own, especially when you're growing your network. And you do not need to be an expert. You can share a news story from your industry with a thought of your own. You can share what you learned at an event, like today, or you can share a little of your own experience to help others. So a few quick tips. Try different formats when you're posting. Sometimes a short text-only post works best. Other times a picture helps you tell a story. You can even schedule posts in advance so you stay consistent. And you don't need to post every day. Once a week is plenty to stay on top of people's radar. So once you're connecting with people and once you're growing your network, you want to be top of mind for those people when they're thinking about perhaps a job at a company they know that you'd be suited for. So posting on LinkedIn will help you stay top of their mind. And there's also the other things, liking, commenting, sharing on other people's posts. But above all, when you're posting on LinkedIn, be authentic. Let your personality and your genuine interest shine through. And when you've written a post that you're proud of, add it to the featured section on your profile. So it's one of the first things people see when they click on your profile. So your voice and your story are valuable, so please never be afraid to share that. Thank you.